Welcome back to The Narrative. I'm your storyteller, Callistra Farrier. From Phyllis Shand Alfrey to Roosevelt Skerritt, the Dominica Labour Party celebrating 70 years as a political party. The party first won seats in the Dominica Parliament 2 years after adult suffrage was attained in that country, and Phyllis Shand Alfrey did win that seat. And they party went on to win general election after general elections, and we have heard a lot of the complaints about the winning streak of the Dominica Labour Party. But we'll talk about the achievements of the party, the challenges, the opportunities, and its place in the Dominica landscape over these last 70 years. I'm being joined by Emmanuel Nanthan. He is the president of the Dominica Labour Party to talk about this. Welcome to the program, sir.
Good morning to you. Good day to you. Thank you very much for having me. It is indeed an honor and privilege to talk to you and to talk to the Caribbean about the achievements of the Dominica Labour Party, 70 years and counting.
We'll also talk about the challenges and the things that are not so great as well, not just the successes. Okay. So 70 years, let's start with what's happening. I assume 70 is a big number. It's been a minute there. What's happening in Dominica to mark this milestone?
Well, our 70th anniversary, the actual day was last week Saturday, and that was the 24th of May. On the 24th of May in 1955, on Empire Day, Felix Shan Alfrey and E.C. Black came together and formed the Dominica Labour Party, a party whose aim and objectives was grounded in taking care of those who are less fortunate among us. And it is good that to see the party continuing and continued along those lines, putting people's first, putting the priority and needs of people, land reform, education, adult suffrage, healthcare, and just looking at the general people's development. That is the main theme for the party. And this year, as we celebrate 70 years, we first had a church service. Well, we had one to start off at Portsmouth earlier in the year. We had a series of youth events and activities. On Sunday, gone on the 25th, we were in Grand Fund, where we had a mass at the Catholic Church there. And then we met with people, had lunch with people in the communities. We have been giving out food baskets to those who are less fortunate all around the country. We have a series of events and activities. The highlight will be this coming Sunday on the 1st of June, where we'll be having a grand rally in the western village of Jubla. And for that, we have our Prime Minister will be speaking, and we're also bringing in the Prime Minister of Barbados, Honorable Mia Amor Motley, as our featured speaker for that rally. We will expect tens of thousands of Dominicans to attend, of all political side of the field, and really it's a celebration. We're inviting people to come in to be with us, to experience and share with us as we celebrate, also to critique us and to help us look at plotting the chart for the next 70 years of Dominica Labour Party.
And when you look at the early years of Ms. Alfrey and LeBlanc coming together, winning those 2 seats that were allotted in the Dominica Parliament, such as it was at the time, to now, the growth of the party, how are you still rooted in the grassroots, help the poor sort of philosophy that the Dominica Labour Party was founded on?
Very much so. So in the Labour Party, we started off looking at the poor, and we look at adult suffrage, the right to vote, land reform. Libla held a number of housing projects, and that continued on the Patrick John, Michael Douglas, and Rosie Douglas, and so on. And today, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt is doing exactly the same thing. So in the last 3-4 years, we have given out over 2,500 homes to people of Dominica. In the last 20 years, we have been in power, 25. We have given out hundreds of lots of land to people all around Dominica, $1 a square foot. We have ensured during that period that we make universal secondary education a must for all Dominicans. We have ensured we have run a program where we promoted a university degree for at least one person in every household in Dominica. We ran a program for eradication of pit latrines in Dominica. We also had a program where we call it the Yes We Care. We provided people to go out and work with the elderly who left alone by family who went overseas, and ensure that we took care of them. We take care of them. We clean their homes. We cook them a hot meal. We ensure that they have a bath every day. So these are the things that we do as a party. That notwithstanding, we have a very active and aggressive public sector investment program where we look at national development, and we look at sustainable jobs for the young people, and looking at the future of Dominica. But going back to the earlier years, this party was the one that formed a number of state institutions. So we opened the West Coast Road from Portsmouth to Roseau. We opened the roads from Roseau up to La Plaine. We formed the National Bank of Dominica, the Agricultural, Industrial and Development Bank of Dominica, the Dominica Social Security, the National Radio Station. A number of these institutions were formed under the guidance and during the course of the early years of the Dominican Labour Party in the 70s and the 60s. So we are very proud of that. We're very proud of what we're doing today. And I could go on and talk of there's so many projects that's happening, but I'll give you a chance to ask the questions.
But do you still see in the Dominican Labour Party of today the same socialist ideals on which it was founded by Emmanuel LeBlanc and Ma Alfrey?
Most definitely, most definitely. For us, uplifting the sons and daughters of the working class is paramount. I recall as a young boy growing up in the 80s when Mike Douglas was the leader, and we were in opposition for 15, 16 years. At the time they called us labor powder because the people felt, these guys can't win government, but they're out there. But we at the time were a responsible party. So even during opposition, we had a number of projects where we built houses on Kudme or self-help. We sent a number of Dominican young people to study. At being in high school in the 80s, Mike Douglas would come to me and say, Manu, I need you to identify a young child, a bright child at school coming from a poor family who we can send to university to study so they can come back and pull their families out of poverty. And those are the things that we did as a party in opposition. Rosie Douglas would go to bring in doctors from Guadeloupe, Dr. Makuk, a very popular one, and bring them to Dominica and take them to the homes of the elderly who did not have enough medical care. So we took care of those kind of aspects. We had a number of social programs. Fête Maumé Guantas, the St. Peter's Feast and Festivals, bringing in Albert Dubai Richards from Montserrat, having and bringing in tourism in the community, working on African Liberation Day and strengthening our African roots. So we did a lot of things in opposition because we were always conscious that we were here about the working class. So in opposition, we sent dozens of students to universities in Cuba, in China, in Russia, in Ukraine, in Kiev, in England, and other places where we got scholarships. We also ensured that we sought to get assistance for the children of the working class. And today we do the same thing. So when Roosevelt Scarlett became prime minister, there was an issue of having access to secondary schools. Charles Safra, the member then for Roseau Central, that is the capital city of Dominica, used to be on the media all the time saying that half of the children in the city have no access to high school. Scarlett ensured, and this Labour Party ensured, that we have universal access to secondary schools for all Dominicans. We formed the Dominican State College, and now we have thousands of Dominican students at the State College, and that is free of charge for all Dominicans right through. So we always believe that the people have a right. They have a right to education. They have a right to lands. They have a right to homes. We had people on the streets of Dominica trying to get to schools all the time, and parents could not pay the bus fares to get their children from the countryside to Portsmouth or to Roseau to go to school. So we put in a system where the government pay for buses for all secondary school children all around the island, because they are the future of Dominica. We don't want the parents to say, I can't send my child to school because I don't have money to pay the buses. No, we do not want that. We ensure that we provide them with uniforms. We provide them with school books. We give a grant to every child going to secondary school for the first time. Because at the first day of high school, this Labour Party want to ensure that you can see from the faces and what the children have on them that child is poor and that child is wealthy, because that one has hand down, that one has passed on. So
But Mr.
basically,
Nanton, let me ask you: in a country where there is such a huge welfare program, uh, how has the Dominican Labour Party pushed forward the economy of Dominica? Because if someone is working and earning well, then they won't need a bus a stipend or school uniform, or they may need housing. And by the way, kudos to Dominica on its housing program. That I believe is a model. Although a friend of mine keeps saying, well, you should at least charge them $1. It's absolutely free. Um, but with so much support, so much social support, one may think it paints a picture of economic issues, that you have so many poor people who must depend on the state to take care of such basic needs.
no, no, no. You see,
Outside of education support, of course.
when we came into government, we inherited a poverty rate that was over 30%. We have brought that down to single digits now. So we had to ensure that we did not leave the poor behind. But in doing that, we ensured that we provided education not just at high school, and we had hundreds of students. We have sent thousands of students over the past 20 years to universities all around the world. Sometimes you look at a school in the US and graduation, and you have 60, 70, 80 Dominicans graduating from one university in the US today. So we have provided education for people so that they can help their families and move them out of poverty. But I also mentioned that we have a very active and very aggressive public sector investment program. So if you look at infrastructure, for instance, the government is completing now a road network from the Casabros going through the Kalinago territory and out to Marigat. That project is over $300 million. We are underway with another road project going up to Grand Bay, that's in the south of the country. That's $109 million ongoing. We are currently designing the roads from the current airport to Portsmouth, the second tongue. And that has been done, and we have already negotiated the funds for that, thanks to the government of China. That's just roads. As we speak, we are building an international airport, and that airport is over $1 billion, and we're doing it without taxing our people and without taking loans for that. So we're working on doing that. As we speak, we
Funded by
recently opened.
is it funded by CBI, the airport project?
It's funded by the Economic Citizenship Program. We opened the Kempinski Hotel that's now transformed to Intercontinental. We opened the Secret Bay local hotel. We've opened the Jungle Bay. We have five other hotels under construction, five-star hotels. So we have Anishi Resort, Marriott Autograph Collection. We have Tranquility Hilton Hotel. We have the Rainforest Eco Resort. We have Timbo's apartment. So we are looking at all these hotels.
But what else supports the Dominica economy besides its citizenship by investment program, which is for all of the countries, the five or six countries in the OECS who have that as a large part of their the economy on very shaky ground right now. How are you reinvesting the monies that are made? You said you're building the airport. Yeah. How else are you investing the money that's coming from CBI, which is a bubble that most people agree is a
So,
bubble
so,
waiting to
so
bust?
So what we always agreed as a government is that the funds from CBI, we should invest into projects that will sustain the economy. So I mentioned the airport that will give us access. With the airport, you would need hotels and hotel rooms. So we're doing about 10 of those around the country. We are doing a marina out at Portsmouth at present. We're also doing the world longest aerial tram to the world's second largest boiling lake. That will be a major tourism attraction. We are also investing in our geothermal energies. So by Christmas of this year, Dominicans will be able to get energy source from our geothermal resource, which is natural here in Dominica. The wells have already been dug. The plants are already on island and been mounted up. And for Christmas, Dominica will be able to turn on geothermal power. So we're doing those things because we believe that they're important and they will help to have sustainable jobs. So I mentioned the geothermal. I mentioned the marina. We are starting soon a new cruise ship berth. and we're starting a new port. So these are things that we are doing that will help transform the economy of Dominica. We have invested in the largest, most modern agricultural plants in Dominica lab, where we do tissue culture that we can export to all of the Caribbean. So agriculture is an important section for us. Over the last few weeks, we have given out over 50 boats to fishermen, and we're doing a lot more to give out to more fishermen because fishing is important. The blue and green, green economy.
When you say give out, and that's to support your blue economy, when you say give out, you mean just give them boats at no cost?
No. We have fishermen who lost their boats during the hurricanes that we had.
The hurricanes.
So we went through the World Bank project, and we submitted something where we're getting funds and financing. We are constructing the boats in Dominica, so we're ensuring that fisher folks around Dominica, male and female, have new boats, have new engines that can go out
Ah,
and fish, because that is important for us. I mean, we just did the world first marine whale watching site, whale reserve in Dominica, because we understand the riches of the ocean. We understand we are in Dominica are by nature environmentalists. So we want to ensure that we have clean energy, geothermal energy. We're doing another area for geothermal in the north of Dominica in Portsmouth, where I'm from, where we're getting good support from international donors for that. So we're doing quite a few things. In the meantime, we're looking at our young people. We starting to clear the lands for our first athletics track in Dominica. We just signed a contract last week for lighting our stadium after our lights got blown away with Hurricane Maria. So we're doing those things. We lit about 7 or 8 fields around the island. We built one in the court. We're doing another one. We have an indoor cricket training facility, one of the very few we have in the entire Caribbean. So young people is important. Sports is important. We saw the work of TLA for at the Olympics. We want to give the encouragement. So there are so many things that we're doing. I mentioned first and
that's
foremost
a
the
lot,
social
and that's a
project.
lot of good coverage there. But I want to ask you, as you look towards the next 70 years of the Dominica Labour Party, and looking back on the 70, what would you try to do differently and better by the people of Dominica in the next 70? What would you say are some of the mistakes that the party made?
No, we are very proud of the 70 years that we have had. We are very proud of the times that we spent in government and the achievements we have had in government. But we are even more proud for being a responsible political party in opposition for 17 thereabout long years. We were in the years of doldrum, where we were called the dark ages, we were called powder. But even in those times, our achievements of the party have been great. At the times when Dominica did not have labor really were the times when labor in its own house had division. So in 1973-74, we had Edward Oliver LeBlanc being the leader of the party, having some internal strife with some of his ministers, where he had to fire some of them. They took him to court for the symbol of the parties. He then withdrew. He went on to
So,
election.
so is there anything that you hope to fix moving forward as you mark this milestone? Anything that you hope to fix going forward? And also, are you changing leaders anytime soon? The Prime Minister, in an interview with me several years ago, said he was living at midterm. Midterm came, it went. Still there.
Yeah. I think we are very pleased with the program of the party and the philosophy and ideology. What we have done very well over the past 25 years is keep a united party. We started off with Rosie Douglas, who became prime minister. It's a coalition government in 2000. We had 10 seats, and then we had a coalition partner, Freedom Party, who had 2. Then we got one other person across 13. Then we went on. We now have 19 seats in house, and we had Rosie Douglas, Pierre Charles, and that we had austerity measures where we taxed the people in our early days because things were rough. The country could not afford the debt that we had. We could not afford to pay our civil servants, etc. So we taxed people, and we were true to the people. We let them know back then that we could not afford, and we had to tax them. Going forward, we stabilized the economy going forward. And what we have done very well is to keep a united party. So we have a united party with a very good leader in whom we have been very well pleased. So Roosevelt Skerrit may have expressed an interest in passing on the baton, but Sunday is about not passing on the baton of leadership, but to engage, we're sending out the nets to the young people of Dominica. We're casting that net far and wide, inviting them to come in, see the program, understand and review the achievements of the party over the last 70 years, and trying to set a vision for a new dynamic Dominica. So we are proud of the past 70 years, but we are even more optimistic of the future 70 years where we will create a new, loving, dynamic Dominica with the vision and clear foresight of the young people of Dominica.
Is it that in the current space of the Dominica Labour Party, there is absolutely no one who can succeed Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit as the leader of the Dominica Labour Party at this time? Are you saying there's no
Oh,
one
oh,
to succeed him?
oh, most definitely there are other
Or,
people
or,
who
or,
can
or,
lead
or
him.
are you holding him hostage?
No, no, no. Most definitely there are other people who can lead Labour. But Prime Minister Skerrit, he has an insatiable appetite to serve, and that is the strength of the prime minister. He is not interested in being in power. He's not interested in the accolades. He's interested to serve. I have not seen anybody else in the Caribbean.
Yet, Mr. Nanton, he remains in power after saying that he would give it up.
Yeah, because the people have asked him to lead us. He came in as a young man, passionate, selfless, and serving, and he continued to do so and do so in a very good way. We respect his leadership, we respect his guidance, and we appreciate the strength and the love he has for the poor people. And it is what he has done is absolutely incredible, and we want to encourage him to continue to do that. God has blessed him with the gift to serve, and with other people who are willing to serve. And anybody could take on the mantle. We had Rosie Douglas, and he died, and I cried. Trust me, the next morning I woke up from my bed with tears. Can you imagine just waking up crying, tears? How could that happen? Rosie Douglas was my hero. Rosie remains my hero today. He died. Pierre Charles came in and did a remarkable job in stabilizing the country. Pierre Charles walked from his office one day on his way home, and he too had a heart attack, and he too died. And Roosevelt Skerrit came, he cried, he went home, and we went to his home and said, you know what, we want you to be the prime minister. He said, me, how me? We said, just accept, and we will do the how. And we worked with him from that day forward. It's not because he was looking for it. It's because we saw in him a man who cared, a man who had compassion, a man who could serve. And he
And,
continues to
and,
serve and serve.
and finally, before we wrap up this interview, the electoral reform. Where would you place this in the history of the Dominica Labour Party? That some measure of it, although the opposition is very dissatisfied with what the outcome of the bill was, but that would you say this? Where would you place this in terms of the achievements of the Dominica
The,
Labour
elec-
Party?
the electoral reform, to my mind, was somewhere where labor showed that we can be flexible. There were needed improvements in the bills, but we always knew that in Dominica, whenever you have elections, I know in my village and in every village that I go to, we know how many votes we're going to get as a party. And very often we are within 10, 15, 20 votes from what we focus we're going to get. So we were flexible, and we had some improvements, and even the opposition agreed that the work that was done with electoral reform were good ones. That's why they voted unanimously with the Labour Party to pass those bills in Parliament. Uh, why they protested
But then
is
they came
something that
back and
only
said they didn't understand what they were voting for.
can you imagine? Can you imagine? We were talking of reform for 15 years. We took it to Parliament first time in 2017. They asked for amendments and changes. We made those changes. They said that they agreed with the changes, and they would go forward. We're going to go back. They put an injunction. We went back to got the Commonwealth assistance, got Sir Dennis Byram, got had consultations right through, and then they still say at the end that they did not know what they were voting for. What can I say? What exactly can I say about that? Except that we're a party that is always open to listen to ideas. We're a party that is open to welcoming new people. A party that is focused on national development with the poor first.
I want to thank you so much for joining me on The Narrative. I'm Emmanuel Nanthan, President of the Dominica Labour Party, and congratulations to you and the party and Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit on this milestone of 7 decades in the political space of Dominica. Thank you so much for being with me here on Narrative, sir.
Thank you very much for having us and sharing in our joy as we celebrate 70 years and looking forward to the next 70 years as a very strong political organization.
Sharing in our joy. Don't do that to me. I need to have safe passage from the opposition and the government and the sitting party if I come to Dominica, sir.
You will be well taken care of.
Thank you
Open
so
to all.
much. All
So,
right.
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. All right. This
Thank you.
is The Narrative. I'm your storyteller, Callistra Faria. That was Emmanuel Nanthan, President of the Dominica Labour Party, speaking about the party's achievements over the last 70 years.